Thank you. I couldn't be happier that you folks appear to be in a good mood because you're looking at one very proud man. Let me tell you why. Those night courses have really paid off. And now, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a certified nurse's aide. I can now walk into any hospital room in this country and say, would you like some tissue? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, the other night, Pat Robertson reacted angrily when Tom Brokaw referred to him as a television evangelist. So from now on, Brokaw says he will call Mr. Robertson a power-crazed, money-hungry religious fanatic. So I think that's more than... Tissue? Anybody need tissue? That's my dumb guy. That's one of the lovable characters we've all really come to... Well, we've pretty much grown up with him, haven't we? The dumb guy.
Yes, we have.
Thank you.
It's lonely with just you and your characters, though, at the end of the day.
That's right. When I go home at night, it's just me and the dumb guy.
In the limo together, yeah.
Earlier this week, Miss Minnesota... Oh, this is kind of a sad note. Gosh, I don't know. Does this represent some decay in the fabric of society? Well, let's read on and find out. In the Miss USA contest, Miss Minnesota, the young woman representing the fine state of Minnesota, had to drop out of the contest because it turned out that earlier in her life she had been arrested on shoplifting charges. So they replaced her by, I guess, the runner-up Miss Minnesota is now Miss Minnesota. And it turns out she, too, had been arrested a couple of years for stealing something from a clothing store. But it is nice to see that the young girls are following in the footsteps of Bess Meyerson, isn't it? Because... I'm really depressed. Ask me why a little
What
later.
is the matter?
I can't talk about it now, just a little later.
Why are you depressed?
I said don't ask me about it now.
Don't ask now.
A little later.
All right.
All right. Well, here, huh?
What could it possibly be?
Well,
what is it?
Please don't ruin your evening.
Oh.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen, this is the truth. This is the 10th annual celebration, next week, the 10th annual celebration of National Condom Week. There's a parade I don't want to see. Hey, would you look at this show, kids? Oh, this is neat. David Steinberg is here, a very funny young man, and Melanie Griffith, a lovely woman, talented actress, she is here. And also, this is kind of neat. We have a guy who is a mayor of a city from my home state of Indiana, Jasonville, Indiana. Isn't that correct? Morty? Jasonville? That's right, Jasonville, Indiana. In addition to being a mayor, the man is also an insurance salesman. And right there, on those two counts, we would have booked him for the show. Hell, on one of those counts, we would have booked him for the show. But over and above those two things, he happens to be... What's the matter with me? He happens to be an Elvis impersonator. Yeah, I know. Here's our good friend, Paul Schaefer.
Thank you very much. Thank you. David, I can't go on without finding out what it is that's gotten you so down.
All right, I'll tell you.
What could it possibly
Well, you know,
be?
yesterday, if you watched this program yesterday, we had, via the magic of modern technology and satellites and so forth, we had a hookup, a live audio-video hookup with our studio and a supermarket on the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Yes, we did.
And it was wonderful. I mean, the switchboard literally melted down today with just calls of people thanking us for that bit of television.
Really?
Yeah. So it worked out so well, we thought, where else could we take this camera and utilize, once again, this marvelous technology and turn it into pure, free entertainment for the home viewers? And we thought maybe it would be fun to take one of these cameras to a baggage claim area of a metropolitan airport and just watch the luggage kind of rotate. And it seemed like a pretty good idea, so one of our staff members started phoning around to the various airlines from the, I guess, 2 or 3 metropolitan airports here in New York City, and was not having much luck gaining permission to bring a camera in there so we could look at luggage and watch people picking up their bags and stuff after their flights. And in fact, one airline actually said, and I wrote it down because this This is the source of my depression. No, you can't come in here because David Letterman is not a friend of commercial aviation.
Well, I can't believe it. How could they say such a thing?
I don't know. But if I have demonstrated one thing in my career and my personal life,
Yeah.
it would be nothing other than the fact that I am a friend of commercial aviation.
I don't blame you for being upset. I don't blame you.
You sweat, you work, you worry,
Really?
you build your career on something, and one phone call and... Paul asked me what time the 10 o'clock flight TWA from Kennedy to St. Louis leaves. That's the 10 o'clock flight. I have a schedule right here. 10 o'clock. Yeah, Kennedy to St. Louis.
When, old friend of commercial aviation,
Yeah.
does the 10 o'clock flight?
This is a 727 stretch, first class and a coach. 10 o'clock flight to St. Louis.
Yeah.
That'll be leaving 11:45. Oh, there it goes. There it goes now.
So what are you saying? Did you take a flight to St. Louis recently?
I've been to St. Louis, sure.
Did you take a flight that took off at a time other than the scheduled departure time?
What, are you like a prosecutor or something?
No further questions.
Here we go. I say that without having any idea what we're doing. It's our top 10 list. Thank you, from the home office in Lincoln, Nebraska. A smattering of applause. Tonight's category is, am I doing this right? Oh, okay. Tonight's category, top 10 ways to perk up the Bush campaign. There could be another joke there. Top 10 ways to perk up the Bush campaign. One of the worst periods of the war. I think Rommel, the Desert Fox, was involved in the Bush campaign, wasn't he? The Bush campaign. Here we go. Top 10 ways to perk up the Bush campaign. Number 10, star in animated commercial with dancing raisins. Well, that would be good. Number 9, spread rumor he killed a man in Reno just to watch him die. Number 8, weep openly at Doobie Brothers reunion concert. Number 7, get old CIA buddies to lob nerve gas canisters into Pete DuPont's headquarters. Number 6, let reporters find him naked in stalled car with Nina Blackwood. Number 5, wear cast on arm, claim he got it saving Sinatra's life. Number 4, deliver speeches in high, squeaky voice. Oh, I'm sorry. I think he already does that one. Number 3, release doctored photo that makes it look like he's met President Reagan. Number 2, give God $10 million to call Pat Robertson home. Number 1, show up at Dan Rather's house, swinging pool cue and shouting, here's your frequency, Kenneth. I think I'm the best friend commercial aviation ever had. Me, Howard Hughes, and Lindbergh. Those three.
They are the 3 words that come to mind.
Absolutely. Let's do our little video funhouse. Gee, we haven't done one of these in a long time, and I don't know why, because everyone always enjoys them. And tonight, featured in this little presentation, we have one of these art cards, an art card just like this, that cost us $2,000. So, well, we'll get to it. I'll show you when we come to it. But watch closely for this, and you'll see how a big company like this just burns money. All right, first I hold this up, and Paul, do you have music for time for Dave's Video Funhouse? Okay. All right. Here's our first little brain teaser. If Grace Jones and Brigitte Nielsen had an Amazon battle to the death, most people would root for A, Grace Jones, B, Brigitte Nielsen, C, an extremely long, painful fight with no clear winner. No, it was not this one. It looks like $1,000, this card, but it probably only cost $4 or $5. That's not the $2,000 card.
The one we already saw was?
No, I just said it wasn't.
Oh, the first one, though.
None of them were so far.
Oh, that's yet to come.
That's right. Here we have silhouettes of a dozen NBA teams. Now, can you pick out the Boston Celtics? Let's take a look now. Can you find the Boston Celtics? There they are. That's right. See the Boston Celtics. Okay. That was no more than $20, that card. Here's a little exercise in spatial relationships. If you were to hit Andy Rooney in the head with a bowling pin, would the resulting indentation look like this? Would it look like this? Or would it be like that? Now, I'm not sure which is the correct answer, but gosh, it sure is fun to think about, isn't it? No, that was nothing. That was, I think they threw this one in. No, that's not the big one. Number 4, look closely now and see if you can pick the Rolling Stones out of this group of old women. We just spoke to Mick on the phone the other night. I hope he's not annoyed with us now. Number 5, here's a kind of perceptual test. Is this what you're looking at here in this little circle? Is that a picture of a scary fire-breathing dragon, or would you say that's an evil winged monkey? Well, I'm sorry, this is a trick question. It's actually one of Cher's tattoos. That's it. Number 6. Sharp-eyed viewers should have no problem with this one. Which of these people is not a good old guy? Did you hear the laugh, Paul? Did you hear how big a laugh that got?
Yes.
This, ladies and gentlemen, represents $2,000. We don't know why. It's just like 40 pictures of 40 different folks. $2,000. Right, Morty? Yeah, Morty. Yeah, that sort of chill through the room, didn't it? Here's a puzzle for the kids now. This is a good one for the kids. For the youngsters, if they're up now, although they really shouldn't be up this time of night, should they? But here, nonetheless, is a puzzle for the kids, so tell them about them tomorrow at breakfast. Connect the dots to see a former associate of John Gotti's. Can you do that? Can you name the agency that represents these famous swimsuit models? All right, let's take a look. This will be a good one. Christy Brinkley, I believe, is with the Ford agency. Yeah, Ford. And next we have Phoebe Cates. I'm pretty sure she is a Click model. And finally, oh, that's Paulina Porskova. And I'm going to say she's with the Elite Modeling Agency. Yeah, I think I got all three of those right. All right, our next quiz, number 9. Number 9. Our next one is number 9. It's our next one is number 9. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Chief Executive Officer of NBC, Robert C. Wright. Where the hell were you?
I was right there.
Why didn't you come out?
Because you was calling.
Oh, okay. Well,
Tom, for that informative segment on swimsuit models and the agencies that represent them, it's my pleasure to present you with this Humanitas Award.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm terribly honored. Oh, that's a beauty. Look, Paul, we've won the Humanitas Modeling Agency Quiz Award. Thank you very much, Robert.
All too often, your program is guilty of going for a cheap laugh instead of using television's capacity to educate.
That's right.
But this time, you didn't even try to make a joke.
No, we didn't.
And for that, we commend you.
Thank
Could
you
I
very
please
much.
have that card?
That's right over there.
That's
Thank
it. Good.
We're really late now, aren't we? About a minute late. Okay, here's our final little quiz. This is a number puzzle. Oh, this would be good. You like numbers, don't you, Paul? I know you do. Now, Bryant Gumbel, as we all know, uses his American Express card and uses that number on the card to charge all kinds of expensive items on his telephone. Now, here's the quiz, the puzzle. Can you unscramble Bryant Gumbel's American Express card number? All right, take a look at it there. Yeah, I think we know what it is. See, it's these last two numbers. The 4 goes there. Okay, so now, Bryant Gumbel's American Express card number is 042-598-6002-504.
I can't find my pen.
Yeah, I wish... God, I wish I had a plane to catch now.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's one right out in the hall. Okay, here we go. David Steinberg is here. We'll be right back. Melanie Griffith and the Elvis Show.
This has been a test of the emergency broadcast system. In the event of an actual emergency, you would have been given instructions by the real Roy Orbison. This is only a test. We now resume our regular programming with David Letterman. Though I, for one, would have preferred an emergency. Ha 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 ha! Am I right, people?
He is an emergency. He started walking around the city like that now.
He has.
Yeah, it's
No.
it's very sad.
Going to parties and stuff?
Yeah, if you don't give him his injection right at the time it's designated, he... you know, folks, we're always glad when our first guest is in town and drops by to see us. He is an accomplished comedian, actor, writer, and director. Folks, please say hello to David Steinberg. David, can you come out and... Good. How you been?
Good.
And are you in town for a while, just visiting? What's up?
I'm in town for a week.
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm directing some commercials. next
Directing
week.
commercials?
Yep.
Now, this is a really lucrative aspect of television, isn't it?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good that way.
How did this start? When did you, what was your first one?
The first one I did was with Dom DeLuise for the computer commercials.
Right.
And I liked them, and they're lucrative, and you learn how to direct while you're doing them, so I have a good time.
But how did they know that you would direct commercials?
Well, I don't really know, but you mean like the selling out part of me?
No. I don't mean that part. But I mean, how did they know that you would be somebody who would direct commercials?
Well, I had directed a movie, and I
so
knew
you
Dom
were-
DeLuise.
you
I
were
directed a little bit,
Yeah.
but they were right. Their instinct was right as to how easy it was for me to direct a commercial, you know. Because directing isn't like starring in something.
Right.
You can direct anything, and you're going to learn something. I mean, I will direct almost anything, really.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're happier directing them? Or have you ever done a commercial yourself?
No, I haven't done a commercial myself, but you see, when you direct, you're not appearing in them. So you don't, your taste is a little different as a director. I mean, if I got a message on my machine that said they wanted me to direct Of Mice and Men with Gary Coleman and the bald guy from Night Court,
Right.
I'd call back, you know, because you're not in it.
No,
So
sure.
you're directing it. So,
Yeah.
so you can direct, I mean, there's almost anything. I mean, there's just a few things I wouldn't direct, you know,
Yeah.
but I
You
wouldn't.
know, that sounds like it might be a hot ticket.
What's that?
The Mice and Men.
Of
with
Mice and
Gary-
Men
yeah,
with Gary
yeah,
Coleman,
sure.
the bald guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be real good. I wouldn't direct Kurt Waldheim, let's say, in, you know, his version of the real story. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't direct, they have these commercials for diapers that they put on old people.
Right. Well, I see people laugh, but it's a very sad problem.
No matter how sad the problem is, I just couldn't direct someone to be enthusiastic,
Uh-huh.
to be an old grandpa enthusiastic about putting on a diaper,
Yeah.
you know. It just, you have to draw the line somewhere, and that's where I would draw the line. But it's not like there's any, but you know, everyone is selling out now. It's
You
not,
see more and more people you would heretofore not have guessed would be doing them.
it's astonishing. I mean,
Yeah.
in the 50s it was a real thing to not, but now everyone,
Sure.
you know, the Super Bowl, Doug Williams played an incredible game. Now, this is the first black quarterback in the Super Bowl. He played exceptionally well, and this must have been an incredible moment for him. And as he walked off, the camera sort of followed him, you know, and he didn't look into the camera, and you've got to remember, this must have been the moment of his life. When are you going to be that good in the Super Bowl? Sure. So he didn't look into the camera and say, "Hi, Mom." Mm-hmm. He didn't make a political statement. He didn't say, you know, "Jimmy the Greek, up yours." Uh-huh. He looked into the camera and said, "I'll see you at Disneyland." So you imagine now, if I was the quarterback, I might be thinking about the fact that I have to do this after the game.
Right,
you know?
because they almost have to arrange this ahead of time. It can't be just odd coincidence.
No, you can't say, "Hey, Doug, just holler, I'll see you at Disneyland." No, this is arranged by accountants and lawyers, and, you know, it's a lot of money.
The deal is already
The deal's
set.
already made.
Yeah.
So, but the interesting thing is the moment that now these moments are actually being sold on television. So if moments are being sold, then that gets very exciting because, you know, then you could have the Pope, you know, Christmas time. Yeah, yeah. You know, which is a very sacred holiday. You know, the vestments actually could be festooned with endorsements, you know. You could have Valvoline over here, you know, and Andy Granatelli's tune-up masters, you know. Yeah. And then he could take this very special moment to, you know, to light the sacred candles with everyone watching, and you could have a voice come out say, "I said a Bud Light." You know, there are tremendous possibilities.
Oh, this is endless. Seems to be, untapped resources.
Sure.
But the deal now, if they made the deal with Doug Williams about the Disney World thing, you must assume that they also made it with other people on both Denver and the Redskins. In fact, John Elway probably had a similar deal.
Yeah, John Elway didn't get to say, "I'll see you in Disneyland," because you don't want to associate to a loser.
Sure,
you know?
with a guy down there. Yeah,
that's right.
This guy was at Knott's Berry Farm. That's where the second place guys go.
That's where they draw the line.
Action Park. That's where he'll be.
New Jersey. Yeah. But, you know, people will listen to this and get ideas. I know it, you know. I mean,
I think you're right. I think eventually it will get worse and worse. It just
but you could use the commercials for good things, too. You know, I mean,
save that thought right there. And speaking of commercials, we need to do one right here. And then we'll be right back with David Steinberg. Steinberg is here, and now the Iowa caucuses.
Great fun. This is great fun.
Have they always been caucuses? Weren't they originally primaries, or were they originally caucuses?
No, I think there have been caucuses for a while, the thing you mentioned earlier about Pat Robertson, that was great to watch. Did you see it, actually?
No, I missed that, where Tom Brokaw referred to him as a televangelist.
Yeah, and he said, "I resent your bigoted comment." You know, it's not like calling someone an evangelist, you know? You know, it's not like saying, all evangelists look alike, or, you know.
Yeah. All evangelists have large thighs.
That's
it wasn't
right.
one of those.
No. Some evangelists are good with money. It was none of that. It was just you're an evangelist, and the guy went crazy. Right. You know, he's got this sort of crazed smile that he's got all the time, and he sort of that crazed smile sort of dropped for a second. What's real interesting about these guys, you know what it is, David, is that he said, "Don't call me a televangelist. I'm just Pat Robertson." So he doesn't want to be who he is because he feels he can't win as who he is.
Right. He's trying to put distance between himself and what brought him to prominence.
Right. So now he's going to be somebody else.
Right.
General Hayes does not want to be called General. He says, "Just call me Alex." Right?
Alex, not Al.
Not even Al. Alex, right? Doesn't want to be a general. Pierre DuPont, a zillionaire, trillionaire, you know, his family invented ammunition. You know.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that is a good job, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're never out of work.
No.
So Pierre doesn't like that Pierre sounds like a rich guy, so he says Pete. He thinks by being called Pete, everyone's going to identify with. Well, what it is that no one wants to be who they are.
Right.
In fact, the only one that is who he is Gary Hart. And the reason he is who he is we caught him at it.
That's right.
We saw him. He had a mistress, he had Donna, and we see him with his wife. You know, he's a breath mint, he's a candy mint, you know. He's two men in one, you know. You get to see that. Now you've got Gephardt. You know, Gephardt is real interesting. You know the eyebrow story on Gephardt.
No, I don't know the eyebrow story.
Gephardt has very, very thin eyebrows. You might notice it next time you look at him. So thin that his media advisor said, you've got to paint in eyebrows. Not like Groucho Marx, no, you know, but sort of eyebrows that would be compatible with his face. So they actually painted, so he's not who he is.
No.
They painted in eyebrows, you know. And I'm thinking, you know, it starts with the eyebrows, but how long before Dukakis and Gephardt are in La Cage aux Folles? You know, swinging all over town. I don't want to cast this
So is he now drawing them on, or he's without them?
No, a makeup man paints them on. And,
well, now, don't you think that's silly?
I think it's silly. I think, you know, what are they going to do? And Dukakis, you got to take eyebrows off, you know? Because he's got that monobrow. But, see, I don't think any of them, are who they, like Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan. I mean, I don't think he is what is your impression? What do you think he looks like? Just, you know,
my impression that comes to mind immediately is him on his horse out in Santa Barbara. That's my impression of him, the visual impression.
Yeah, a cowboy is.
Yeah.
But my impression of him is sort of the world, which is a sort of doddering old fool, you know, a hamster brain, basically.
I see.
Right. But I don't think that he is that. I think probably behind closed doors, he's a tough guy like James Cagney. You know, he probably goes the other way. He probably grabs Edwin Meese by the lapels, slaps him around, you know, says, hey, Eddie, I hear you're going to sing like a fat canary. So he probably goes the other way.
Right, sure. And then forgets all about it.
And then forgets,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, he doesn't remember much.
But anyway, on to New Hampshire here. Let's see, are we mentioning anything? No, not mentioning a thing. You were you dropped by out of the goodness of your heart.
One of the pleasures of directing.
Always
you don't
good
have
to see you.
Self-promote.
Good luck to you.
Come
back anytime. We'll pause here at the station identification. Then we'll be right back. In this half hour, Melanie Griffith will be with us, and also Mayor Elvis impersonator Bruce Borders from Jasonville, Indiana, will be here. Tomorrow on the program, Michael J. Fox, author Carolyn Jabs, and musician Bob Geldof. That will be nothing. Yeah, but you folks get this. This is, we did a show at Radio City Music Hall a couple of weeks ago to celebrate our 6th anniversary, and we were looking for big, dopey things to do, so we had our staff build this giant pencil launcher, and right in the middle of the show, we were going to toss this huge pencil through the window, and it would shatter the glass, much like we do every night with just regular pencils over there. And we thought it'd be a lot of fun. But when we got it out there, we realized that we would probably, in doing this, kill several band members. So we couldn't use it on the show, but it cost us a lot of money, so to you know, get something out of it, we're going to do it for you here. Are we all lined up? Is anyone frightened? How many of you have one of these at home? All right, Anton, let me have something here. Well, I don't know. I don't know. If I screw one up, we're done. We can't do it again, right? Howard, are you ready back there? Come here and look at this. Does that look right to you? My pencil caddy, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are on the 18th at Augusta, lining up a pretty tricky putt. I don't know, the pencil is warped a little bit. Oh, screw it, let's just do it. We all set? And then we'll look at it in slow motion. Now see, you folks are going to get to see this. Tomorrow night they get to see Michael Fox. Wouldn't you rather see... Here we go. That's right, we've lost our lease. Everything must go. We'll do a commercial here. We'll be right back with Melanie Griffith. That worked all right.